I heard you.
Okay. So if you had anything to drink today?
I told you no questions.
Could you do me a favor, lift up your visor for me?
I'm not going to do any favors.
Would you lift up your visor now, please?
Are you ordering me?
I am now. Thank you. No problem.
I told you no questions.
Why is that?
Let me know when I'm free to go.
All right, have you been drinking at all?
Let me know when I'm free to go. I'd like to go now.
Do you have any ID on you?
I told you no questions. Are you demanding ID?
Yes.
I get it out of my pocket here.
Please, please. No alcohol today. That's all we're asking.
I told you no questions.
Okay. There you go. Feel free to leave.
Have an incident report number, please.
We don't have an incident report right now.
Yeah. Let's go. I go the hardest. I bring the pain. Not what you used to. It's all part of the game. Yeah. I just gotta go hard.
As I was watching them search my car from the back of the squad car, I felt violated. Opening up the glove box, taking out my tools and my work equipment, all of my personal property was being searched through.
For the next 25 minutes, the officers ransack Alex's car, opening every compartment and tossing every bag. They find work gear.
Each step along the way, not just the officer, but his manager that called me, the internal affairs department.
Something's going on. I'm telling you,
They all trashed everything and said everything was justified.
He's defeated. I'm really hoping.
I hadn't done anything wrong.
This police officer in San Antonio, Texas, stopped Alex Schott while he was driving home from a work trip and ended up ransacking his car to look for drugs.
My name is Alex Schott. I live in Houston, Texas with my wife and 2 young sons.
Police are supposed to keep us safe, but they should also be held accountable when they violate our rights. Let's roll the tape and see whether this officer complied with the Fourth Amendment. We'll use a reasonable suspicion meter to help us out. More on that later.
Hey, how you doing, brother? Hey, my name is Joel. I'm with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line pretty hard. I just want to make sure everything's okay.
Police can't just stop and detain you to fish around for evidence that you might be doing something wrong. The Fourth Amendment requires that they have reasonable suspicion, objective evidence that you've committed a crime. Otherwise, they have to let you go.
The only reason I'm stopping you is when I was watching over there, you were drifting over that fog line.
Here, the officer said the only reason he stopped Alec was because he was drifting over the fog line. But this is a video from Alec's personal dash cam before he was stopped. I don't see any drifting there, do you? Because we're still in fishing expedition territory, the stop and everything after it violates the Fourth Amendment.
Hey, I'm gonna have you step out and sit in my passenger seat while I do your warning, okay? Thanks a lot, man.
When I was pulled over and asked to get out of the car, I was immediately confused because it was not a standard practice from what I've normally experienced with the license and registration process. I was really astounded and very uneasy.
At this point, the officer orders Alec into his patrol car so that he can issue a warning. But if lane drifting was the only reason for the stop, the officer was required to deal with that violation promptly and then let Alec go. The officer's body cam shows that he ran Alec's license plate before pulling him over, and the incident report shows that the officer ran a background check on Alec less than a minute after they entered the patrol car. Alec has never been in trouble with the law, so the checks would have come back clean, At this point, the officer was constitutionally required to issue a warning and let Alec go. But he didn't. We're about to learn what's really going on.
What I am is I'm on what's called a criminal interdiction unit. So I don't have to deal with all that crap. I don't give tickets, I give warnings. And the main reason is I sit on the side of the highway and I'm out here looking for, because it's bad out here. I'm out here looking for big human smuggling, drug smuggling, and all those things like that. So that's what I'm doing.
Here the officer admits that the stop was never really about traffic. It was about finding big. That's a problem.
As I was watching them search my car from the back of a squad car, I felt violated. Opening up the glove box, taking out my tools and my work equipment, all of my personal property was being searched through. As I was watching them search my car from the back of a squad car, I felt violated. Opening up the glove box, taking out my tools and my work equipment, all of my personal property was being searched through.
The reason why I pulled you over, because I'm the one that actually pulled you over,
Okay.
is a high rate of speed.
Okay, well, I was cut off. Did you get my speed?
What I saw was a high rate of speed.
So
I'm worried
this
about
is
people walking down the street.
right, and I'm worried about someone cutting me off.
My issue is people walking down the street. I get it. At that point, you should have called 911. Hey, this is my issue. We could have solved it then. But you speeding down the street,
Doing 35 and a 35. Yes, ma'am.
I need you to roll the window down.
I mean,
Roll the window over.
no, sir, I'm not going to. That is against my constitutional rights. I do not have to.
Okay. First of all, you need to learn your constitutional
I
rights.
do know my constitutional rights.
roll
Do
the
you
window
know
down.
that your vehicle is an extension of your house?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So roll the window down so you can sign this citation.
I'll sign the citation. All you got to do is just hand it to me right
No, I
here.
don't hand my clipboard through the window. Roll your window down.
You don't. If you won't hear your window, then how is rolling my window down going to help?
You're gonna lean toward me. You're gonna sign this
I
citation.
can step out
We're
and
gonna
we
go
can
about
sign
the
it.
business,
I can step
listen
out
to
and
me.
we can sign it.
Or I'm gonna take you to jail for obstruction. You understand?
For obstruction is a physical crime. You do
are
realize that.
obstructing- You are obstructing my.
Obstructing is a physical crime.
You can go ahead and try to refuse to sign, hand him his copy, and go about your night. It doesn't change it either way.
Are you gonna sign my ticket?
I mean, did he just say? What did he just say?
You're right.
That's why we have to have y'all supervisors here to keep y'all honest.
Now, the ticket was just the beginning of Sean's ordeal, a series of events that have forced him to fight back in a way we will be discussing with him soon. But first, I'm joined by my reporting partner, Stephen Janis, who's been looking into the case. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us.
Taya, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
So, Stephen, you've been reaching out to the Stuttgart police. What are they saying?
Well, Taya, not a lot right now. I reached out to the chief of police of Stuttgart through his departmental email, asked him a couple questions, most notably, why the obstruction of justice charges. I thought that was kind of weird. I asked him if he actually thought that was legitimate use of that, charge in that situation. I also asked him why they didn't take into account, Mr. Chaperone's version of events, why they didn't look for the other driver. I'm waiting to hear back. If I hear something, I'll mention it in the chat. I haven't heard back yet, but I will keep reporting on it.
Often when reporting on these types of questionable tickets, there are some underlying reasons rather than just public safety. You've been looking into the town itself. What have you learned?
Well, it's really weird. I went to the Stuttgart town website to look through their financial information, budgets, etc. Nothing was posted. It was completely blank. I'm showing on the screen right now. They do not share budget information with the public, which I think raises a lot of questions. They've also given police officers a raise, although they weren't making a lot of money, like $11 an hour for a rookie. So maybe they need to raise money and write a lot of tickets. I get that feeling because, they really don't share information. Lack of transparency always leaves questions unanswered.
So I talked about the idea of an arbitrary nature of police power and how it can infect the process of law enforcement. I know you have some ideas on the topic. Can you talk about them?
Yeah, I tell you, there's nothing more anti-democratic than arbitrary power, especially police power, because, the consequences of when it is imposed upon us are life-altering. So really giving someone the ability to say, write you a ticket when it's not justified, or, put you in a cage when there's no real basis for criminal charges, all results in the same thing, a sort of roving, sort of mobile fascism that really can entrap you in a system that's unjust. And I think that's why we have to keep our eye on and always hold in check, indiscriminate and what we say arbitrary police power.
And now to discuss this confrontation with Stuttgart police, why he challenged the officers, and how he's fighting back against the ticket, I'm joined by Sean Chaperone. Sean, Thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
I need you to roll the window down.
I mean,
Roll the window.
no, sir, I'm not going to. That is against my constitutional right.